All right, we're live, almost 11:05, a little bit past some technical difficulties, lots of confusion, but then, hey, our world is in lots of confusion. What's the big deal? But we're hot rodders. We can adapt, we can overcome. I found some old Sears and Roebuck catalogs for all you people that have been hoarding all them paper products. And as hot rodders, I got an idea. I bet we all got some old Speedway catalogs we don't use anymore, so we're good to go there. We got some product out here. This is Ronnie's car, right?
Yes,
It's gold. Is it called Goldie?
Goldie.
It's Goldie. So Ronnie's had this car for a long time. It's a spirit car, and he got it sorted together, but then just didn't get it finished, and he wants a metal flake paint job. I don't know, y'all remember the old days of the metal flake paint jobs? Serious. I mean, the problem with it, doing it in lacquers, and it would crack, and it would just not be good. But it's pretty cool. So I think this is what we're gonna do, man. It's looking pretty cool. He supplied all this Eastwood product. And there's a bunch there. The frame was painted, it's back there, but it just wasn't right. So we had it sandblasted, we've done body work around it, it's gonna get primed. And luckily Glenn, the guy I'm gonna have painting this, he used to work for a company that painted fenders that went on boat trailers that was metal flake. So he's got some good experience at it. A big deal with the flake, this is big flake, so you've got to suspend it in clear and get it built out. So he had a test panel here, and this test panel actually looks a little different than the other one. It's a little darker. So we ground it to actually see what the heck's going on, and you can see that there's multiple, because there's multiple flakes here. There's a white, with a blue flake, and then some golds. So we got multiple flakes here. And if you can see into here, it's got a base color, then it's got like more of a silver flake, and then the golds get in there and clears. So we're trying to figure it out. One of the big issues with putting this much material on it and having grounded, some of this is due to the heat of grinding, but look at what can happen. When you've got that much material, this can happen. And this is what you don't want to happen. We don't want this to happen on the car, so we're gonna need to be careful. Big deal about flake is this comes from Eastwood, so they market well. They market to the hot rod guys. What do they call that? Flake bomber. So it's a 2.5. That means this opening is huge. It's gonna shoot lots of material out. Lots of different clears. We're just gonna have to do some thinking about it. We're gonna research it, make sure we get the right product on, make sure we're happy with the product that we have here. It's all pretty current. He's had it for a while, but it's not that old, so it's still in date, so we're good to go. Goldie. So we got Goldie, and Goldie's fixing to be gold, and that's coming up soon. This one is a Model A Roadster. He's on the way, isn't he?
Yes,
What was his name?
Brian.
Brian's coming to get it. He had a wreck, and so he's putting this on, and he's picking up a car from somewhere out in California. It's just a chassis.
Yes.
So I don't even know who that is, but he said, build me a car. So he's sending a chassis, and we haven't really even talked about it with him, have we?
Mm-mm.
This here is an old Total anniversary car. And it's over in the body shop. We're doing it. It's for Alan. And I asked Alan, has your car got a name? He said, well, no, it's just my dream. It's been my dream since I was a kid. Some people like Ferraris or Lamborghinis or different cars. He loved the T-Bucket. He always wanted one, so we're getting it together there. This is Methuselah, my car, so it'll be sitting around here for a while. David's car. This will be a turnkey. Pretty cool color. I don't know, David, if you're watching, I'm fixing to assemble the front end here. I like to make tips, and haven't had any tips yet. In putting your rods together, especially coming from the chromer, you may have to chase the threads. Don't just jam in your rod ends or your clevises. Make sure you chase the threads so that they go in pretty smooth and you're not just kind of galling it all, putting it together. But this will be coming together pretty quick. Oh, this is a great story. So, Dan, right?
Mm-hmm.
Comes with his daughter, 13-year-old daughter, to pick up their rolling chassis. And I said, we have Bonnie here. Bonnie's undercover. I'll give you a quick peek of Bonnie here. Bonnie is gonna be cool. So check out the intake and all that. So it'll be And that's just a, so it's a Model A sedan. It's in the body shop right now, blocking. So we've been calling this Model A chassis, Bonnie's little sister. Well, they come up here last Friday, picked it up, and they're putting a 27 on it. I've got some pictures of it. I got to respond to it. He texted me some pictures. Really cool. And it all fits good. But she's got a name for her car already. It's called Clyde. How perfect. So we got Bonnie and we got Clyde. Dorothy is coming together. Kendall, I promised you could get to see it, so here it is. So it's time to more wet sanding and blocking, and we're gonna, at this point, we're gonna go ahead and buff the rest of the car. We decided it'd just be easier. We put it all together. We've already buffed the cowl. I got the front clean and buffed up in here because it would be hard to do. But what we'll do is mask off the entire car here. Wet sand it with probably 1,000 grit, then to maybe 1,500, then to probably 2,000 grit, and then buff it. Mask the jam. Be careful when you're buffing. I mean, obviously this corner is going to buff real easy because you got all your force on just a corner, so it's easy to buff through a corner. Some people actually put tape on the corners so they don't go through. If you're kind of inexperienced with a buffer, that might be a good idea. We don't necessarily do it, but I mean, we are awful careful around corners. In jams, now if this is all sanded and you're buffing and you got compound, even though the compounds nowadays are more of a chemical reaction compound than they are the old heavy grit kind of compound where you're just grinding material off and using a lighter grit. But even at that, if you're buffing too much in these areas, you're getting a bunch of compound in the jams. It just makes a big mess. So be careful about that. Maybe mask your jams off. And we'll mask this entire car off with plastic. You can get kind of, this is going to be looking good. We'll get this probably during the week. Eddie's working on the interior. He's putting some blue on it. We've got most of it done, so you'll be seeing the interior coming together this week. But this is it. This is going to be a good looking car. We'll put some red stripe on it. We were kind of back and forth. Do we put the stripe under the paint and make it, real slick? You can almost, if you feel it, and I don't think you can see it in here because there's not much of a line. Can you see a line in that? No. On the reflection. Anyway, it's there, and you can almost see a line on the reflection where the two colors were. But we've got plenty of clear. What we'll do is we'll sand that out, and there'll be no line there. But we're going to do kind of old school pinstriping. So we'll just pull a line along, and it'll be red, and it'll stand up off of the paint a little bit, and you'll know it. But I think that'll look better. It'll give it more of a authentic hot rod look, and not so much of a graphic kind of a look. Be good. It's coming together. Got to put AC in. Pretty much what we're going to do now is order all the parts for the car. Just have everything here, get it all put around, and then a couple of us will focus on this car and get it done. When you're working on a car, it's easier if you come to a stopping point before you walk away. If you're in the middle of doing something and it's only going to take another half hour, I would highly recommend spend that half hour to get it to a stopping point rather than having bolts laying here, wires unconnected that you might forget where they go or something like that. So we're going to kind of focus on this car, get it going through the process, get her done. Matter of fact, I got the wrong radiator here. We use this radiator to mock it up. It's a Ford motor, and we got a Chevy radiator with the intake and all that for the water pump. So we got to change that out, but we used it to fit the hood. Coming together. Got lots of projects going on. We just got on hold on our Australian project. I guess no shipping there and some issues, so we'll probably won't be able to deliver that till maybe December. So we'll talk to Rob. I don't know if you're watching this, Rob, but I'm sure we can work all that out. It's just, don't freak out. It's like, I always told my son, you don't win in the good times. Anybody can do that. You win in the bad times because it's good. We're going to come through, and we're hot rodders. So we're going to make it happen. And we're busy. Everybody's happy. We're all working away. So if it takes till December till we can ship to Australia, well, we'll have the car ready in December. It'll be ready before that, but we can ship in December. So Australia, I guess they're closing things down a little bit more than we are. So until next time, what's the word of advice? I got a mask back there I'm not gonna use, I'm gonna save. We might have to eBay that. I don't wanna just waste that on paint or something. But other than that, tomorrow.